parts of the leaf. The cuticle is a water-resistant layer that protects the epidermal cells of leaves and limits water loss. Its thickness varies depending on where it is on the plant, and it has several layers consisting of cutin, cutan, polysaccharides, lipids, and waxes. The cuticle is an adaptation that allowed the first land plants to live out of water without drying out. The airtight covering formed by the cuticle is what makes stomata necessary for the exchange of gases between plants and the atmosphere. Light leaf colors help desert plants keep cool, and the cuticle can help with this too. The epidermis is a single layer of cells that covers the leaves, flowers, roots, stems, fruits, and seeds of plants. It forms a boundary between the plant and the external environment. Various modified epidermal cells regulate transpiration, increase water absorption, and secrete substances. The plant epidermis consists of two layers, the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis. The space between is occupied by the vascular tissue system and the ground tissue system. The epidermis also helps protect plants from being eaten by animals and parasites. Many plants have thick hairs or spines that come from the epidermis, making it very unattractive to hungry animals. Think of a cactus with its large spines. The danger associated with trying to access what's behind those spines likely makes that plant very unappealing to you. Parenchyma cells make up the fleshy ground tissue of the mesophyll as well as parts of the xylem, phloem, and other soft tissues in plants. They have thin walls and are unspecialized, so they can perform many tasks. Their role in the plant can be storage, damage repair, or photosynthesis depending on their location. They have large vacuoles to store nutrients and water and to maintain the correct pressure inside the plant. If you've ever eaten a potato, you can thank parenchyma cells. The potato is formed by replicating parenchyma cells that store starch in their vacuoles in case the plant needs it. In the leaves, specialized parenchyma cells called chlorenchyma contain chloroplasts, making them the main site for photosynthesis the plant needs to perform to survive. There are two types of mesophyll in leaves. Palisade mesophyll is a layer of parenchyma cells between the leaf's epidermis and its spongy mesophyll. The cells in palisade mesophyll are tightly packed together, giving them a cylindrical or rectangular shape. Because it is a layer of ground tissue that has the best access to sunlight, their main function is to make glucose through photosynthesis that the plant can use for energy. This means that the cells of the palisade mesophyll are packed with chloroplasts. Spongy mesophyll forms the next layer down of ground tissue. The parenchyma cells that make it up are irregular and roughly spherical in shape. They contain chloroplasts, but fewer than in the cells of palisade mesophyll because its lower position allows it less access to sunlight. The main function of the spongy mesophyll is to allow gases to move throughout the leaf, like CO2, which is needed for photosynthesis. Like humans, plants have vascular tissue. However, unlike humans, plants use vascular tissue to transport water and nutrients instead of blood. Vascular tissue is found in tracheophyte and pteridophyte plants and extends through the roots, stem, and leaves. In plants, vascular tissue is arranged in long continuous strands called vascular bundles, which can be easily seen if you cut a stalk of celery in half. These bundles consist of xylem, which will transport water, and phloem, which will transport glucose or sugar. The xylem and phloem are separated by a cambium, which is a thin layer of cells. Stomata are tiny pores found mostly on the underside of leaves. They allow gas to enter and exit the leaf. Air enters through the stomata and the CO2 is used in photosynthesis. Some of the oxygen produced in photosynthesis is used in cellular respiration, and the rest is let out back through the stomata. Water vapor exits plants through their stomata as well in transpiration. Each stoma is surrounded by two guard cells that regulate its size. Guard cells contain chloroplasts, a nucleus, and a vacuole. By opening and closing the stomata, they regulate the rate of transpiration. To open a stoma, the guard cells take in water by osmosis and become turgid or swollen with water. Because they have stiff inner walls, this pulls the guard cells apart to create an opening. When water is lost, the guard cells deflate and close.